And I'm going to try again with BNN Bloomberg.
Okay, Governor Macklem and Senior Deputy Governor Rogers, thank you for taking my question. The bank says it wants economic growth to pick up. It said that several times today. It also identifies debt servicing costs by households as a major headwind to economic growth. My question is, does the bank have a forecast or a horizon in which it believes that household debt servicing costs may become less of a headwind to economic growth in Canada?
Yeah, I mean, we took a pretty deep dive on debt service costs a month or two ago when we walked through our financial stability report. We do see some risk to that. It's outlined in the monetary policy report. There is a risk that the combination of mortgage renewals, an increasing portion of household costs going towards higher mortgage payments, higher debt service payments, having a dampening effect on household consumption. That could mean that we don't get some of the pickup that we expect. But we also know that as we've monitored this issue over the last 2 years, households have told us they've got some precautionary savings. They've been planning for these renewals. So it's something we're going to have to watch closely. It is a potential risk. It's one of the ones we highlight in the monetary policy report.
Okay, and our final question is from Rob McClister of Mortgage Logic News. Please come off mute and ask your question, Rob.
Good morning. One of the biggest inflation risks out there is fiscal spending. Other things equal, if deficit spending in the United States and Canada continues at the current inordinate pace, how significant of a risk does that create of interest rates maybe bottoming out sooner than expected or potentially even going back up in Canada over the next few years?
Well, we're not in the business of evaluating different, the implications of different policy choices by the U.S. or the Canadian governments. In terms of fiscal policy, what we do when we do our economic forecast is we take announced policy decisions by governments and we factor those in. So since our April report, when we did our April monetary policy reports, most of the provincial budgets were out, the federal wasn't. Since then, obviously the federal government published their budget. So we now have all the provincial budgets, the federal government's budget. The plans that are built into that budget are reflected in our forecast for government spending. And what you can see is that, yes, government spending is, 2 to 3%, I think closer to 3% over through next year. So that's certainly contributing to growth. That's something that's built into our forecast. And as you can see, you've got the overall growth forecast, you've got the overall inflation forecast, and we've built in those plans. If governments change their plans, we'll put in the new plans, and that will. If it's a significant change, that could have implications for growth and inflation, and we'll take those into account going forward.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's press conference. So thanks to the governor and senior deputy governor. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Bon été tout le monde. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Yeah, let me just join in wishing you all a good summer. And to our athletes in Paris, we wish them a great Olympics. We're so proud of you. Go for the gold. Thank you.